Hey everybody, Joanna's been here with How Powerful Women Excel. I have some amazing women with me today. This is Dr. Lovelace, and we have Miss Paulina Burke, like Burke. And we have some amazing commentary from some of the amazing young men here. We got Jonathan Lovelace, as well as Fidello or Junior, and another Junior, Gerald Lovelace, in the place who is filming this podcast. So thank you so much. So we're gonna hop into the question on kids. That was the first question, right? And so, especially in our I would say in your 30s, or this is a big question for a lot of single or young women, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. We got the Lovelace, not the rolling. Anyway, so the whole thing was that women are now, I guess, being encouraged if they're in their 30s to freeze their eggs, right? So that you're not dating with kind of like this cloud hanging over your head where you might feel like, oh, like now you just need to marry the next person you're dating because you need to have kids and your clock is ticking. So what are your thoughts about that? Do you think that's a natural thing? Do you think, at least for this day and age for millennials, I mean, I know, your age or day might have been a little bit more different, but what are your thoughts on something like that? If I freeze my eggs, then I can date the right person and I can marry the right person, and then I can have my kids at whatever age I want, because it's not that I'm not ovulating anymore. It's that the eggs are there. I get the right sperm and I can carry the child, even if I'm 40.
How about if you get sick?
It sounds like an idea, but I wouldn't really excited about that, because I have my children already, and I am hoping that I'll get more with my grandchildren and the great ones, because I have two right now. As a matter of fact, one is pregnant right now.
Okay, so what Paulina is saying, Pauline, sorry, we're in a Spanish church today, so I keep saying Paulina because it's the same thing as Pauline in English. Anyway, so Paulina is saying that she thinks that it's unnatural, and so she thinks that is not tapping into your faith journey. And Sister Lovelace here is saying that if that's something that somebody wants to explore, yeah, why not? And I think a bit of both. I think it's fair for women to decide if that's something that they want to do. And I totally hear you.
Nobody want to dash yours?
No.
That's mine.
Oh yes, okay. So I guess the freezing would be like the plan B. Hey,
But where's your trust in God?
I like. Go ahead.
Well, where's your trust in God?
Where do you trust?
Yeah, God gives and God takes. A lot of times, I know we live in a society that demands, but you have to have your trust in God. Probably it wasn't God's plan for you to have children. Look at Paul, look at some of the disciples. So we have to rely, a lot of times we want what we want, but are we asking, Lord, let it be your will? And that's the most important thing.
Yes.
I agree with what you're saying. However, I've had to talk to many young ladies, and I remember meeting a young lady, and she said that she had 3 pregnancies. Is it 3? Yeah, more. I had 4 pregnancies, and she didn't. Every time she lost the baby, and it saved her to be angry. It wasn't the time that somebody wanted to talk about anything like that. So.
Well, my mother, I'm the oldest child. My mother lost 3 before I was born.
Oh wow!
And then she had 2 more. So you gotta trust in God.
Right.
It's on His time. We want to help out God. What happened to Abraham when he helped out God?
Well, Sarah. And you can't do anything about that anyway. If you interfere with that, there's no.
That wasn't God's plan.
Right. It was the person's plan.
You gotta be. I've learned in life. You gotta be happy with what God has given you. Earlier you asked me, I don't have no children. If it happens, it happens. But I'm just happy with the Lord, with what He's done for me. I'm happy that He has me translating, working in the church. Who knows, if I had a baby, I would love that baby so much that I would lose my soul, but not working for the Lord.
see, and I agree with what you're saying, what you had said a while ago about God, you know?
Yeah.
So we have to remember Him anyway.
Yes.
In whatever decision you're going to make.
Yep.
And when it's a suggestion, no, if it's something that's subject to you, you know, and you're saying that, well, I would have had to have a child, but you know, at this time, God has been good to me. I've gotten this, and I'm all right. And in your spirit, though, it's kind of a little thing that is saying, where should I have been? You know, or God, is it okay now and stuff? And we do that. We always we're asking the Lord, and we want something to be done, but we ain't doing nothing at the same time. So it makes a difference, really. No, it's true. It is a difference when you
Because,
know.
and I look at it like this, my father that raised me, I'm 52 years old. My parents have been almost married 50 years. He got me when I was 4 years old. That man, he never had kids, but we love him like he's our biological father. Cause, and you know, my mother, cause when she met him, my mother got operated. You know, she was young. They didn't want to operate her back then, back in the 70s. And my mother tried to get re-operated so she could give him a kid, and he said no, because you know, if we and you have a kid, he's gonna feel more powerful than the other three. I was raised with
That's what I'm telling you.
I was raised with a stepfather. I was raised by an aunt, so I can raise kids. So you got to be happy with the cards God has given you.
That's interesting. So you're saying be happy with the card that He has given you, but is there also a space where, as you said, I think you guys were talking about faith, and it's kind of bringing us back to how powerful women excel, right? And so on that faith journey, so in order for you to get to a certain level, I think in your faith journey, where where it says you can move mountains if you have the faith of a mustard seed. There's certain obstacles or certain challenges or certain courses that you have to take and kind of move through that lesson, right? So in terms of faith, would you say, like, I don't want to put a number on it, but there might be things in our faith journey or it might be obstacles or situations in our faith journey. I don't know if there's something that you would like to share about a faith journey portion of your life where you have faith and you saw that little thing turn into bigger faith. Is there like a particular?
Well, that's basically.
No, go ahead.
No, it's that I was talking, like you just mentioned a while ago. You know, we have to remember that in individuals, we make decisions, and yet we still have doubts. You know, we're asking on Lord, and we say, Lord, this is what I love to see, because Lord, I look at families now, and some of them right now, I have a girlfriend who was at church, and she was at home. I mean, yes, it's church, and she was at home, and she fell down and she broke her something or another, and now she's at the hospital right here in Connecticut where I am, you know. And when I found out that she didn't have, and remember I was telling you, Pauline, that she don't have any family and stuff, and you were saying that to make a suggestion to get that band that they put on you,
So somebody,
that if you fall,
something will come, people will come to you.
Yes, in other words, when she fell down, if she had somebody,
or something,
you know,
to alert.
So, but we have so many of our brothers and sisters as Christians who will now are going so much hurt and not having nobody as a support, and you know, so many of them who decided and they didn't want children. Now they're saying, Lord of mercy, you're right, you know what happened, so it might not make any sense to anybody, but I'm just saying, when it happened with Josie, and she was telling me that, Sister Blanche was saying to me that she broke her leg, and now she's in the hospital, and even when they finished, to leave
who's gonna help her?
because they're not sure yet who is gonna be there. So it's all about life. It's really, when you talk, the question you're asking for me right now, it's looking about life itself from the beginning to where it is. When you're young, you make some decisions, you do some ridiculous things, and so on and so forth. But then when you start to get a certain age, you say, wait a minute. wait a minute. But then I have son, I have a nephew, I have a aunt, I have a cousin, and I have a this. Yes, but what about you in your life and what you're gonna do now? You know, so it depends. And like he mentioned early about God, we cannot listen. We must remember who our God is. But He's the one that makes decisions, and many times we decide what we decide instead of what He said.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Actually
we
gave us choice.
yeah, that's oh God.
He gave
Go
us
ahead,
choice.
my girl. You're bad. You're bad.
No. He gave us choice.
Yes, he
Sometimes it's not turned out for us to be mothers or parents.
We know
have
that.
nieces and nephews that sometimes God put them in the way that you should take care of like your own child. And I've seen that with plenty people. They don't have. I know of a girl, back in Philadelphia. She's over 60s, never have any kids. She's not married, but she raised her niece and nephew as her own.
Yeah, some people do that, but it's not all the time you get that.
I can't rely on mine. You know, no,
Ah,
I'm going to talk about it. It's true, because she's around the same age as my parents, and my mother says, as much as I love you kids, but when I'm in pain, he's the one that passes me the medicine.
Hers.
Yeah,
Who's that,
yeah.
the husband?
The husband, and she makes him his
Thank you,
tea.
my brother.
Yeah.
Remember the
That's what it's like. Let me bring it back. Okay.
But it's true. But it's
Yeah.
true.
So that is important. You should put away your family. You put away your father, your mother, your children, your husband.
Okay.
I like that. I like that. I sign off on that.
Okay, so we just spoke about faith journey that Sister Lovelace has shared, really the faith journey of having kids and a family, and also speaking to what you need God to do for you. And then we have Pauline, who just kind of spoke about the faith journey of maybe the kids and the husband and the babies are not for you, but the nieces and nephews are there for you to be a prominent figure in their life. So, any faith journey that you would say has helped to grow your faith, Pauline? I don't know. Maybe you can talk about your line of work.
Okay. This is there's a lot of small things where see where God comes through for me. I had surgery like maybe 3 years ago, and when I wasn't sick or anything, I don't really get sick. But one night I was laying on the bed and I was talking to the Lord. Have you ever heard the Holy Spirit talk to you? You ever hear the Holy Spirit voice and you can say, yes, this is it. Yes. I was laying on the bed and I'm looking up, maybe about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's like the Holy Spirit said, Pauline, there's something wrong with you. And my hand was on my stomach. I said, there's something inside of your tummy. It's like a dog. And I'm like, yes. Then I lay and I roll. I went on the left, I turned on the right, and I could feel it. And so I actually in the morning I called a friend of mine and I said, this is what happened. And I said, Pauline, you really? You hear the Holy Spirit talk to you? And I said, yes. And anyhow, something happened. I went to work, was cooking that day, and I felt a little dizzy. I pulled to the left, and the family who I work with, they're doctors, and the young lady called her dad and said, Dad, Pauline, she can't walk straight. So David said, Pauline, maybe I have vertigo. Give her some Benadryl and let her sleep for an hour. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to take the Benadryl. I need to go to the ER because something is wrong.
Right.
Yes. So when I went there, I explained to the doctors and I said, this is what I'm feeling, and I think this is what happened. There's something inside here that preventing me from eating, eat small portion of food. And then they said, okay, we'll listen to you, but we'll let you do an X-ray and MRI and, different tests. And lo and behold, when I go through that machine and come back out, exactly what I tell them, that was exactly what was there. Yes. And I've seen right there in the hospital, when I went to get the surgery, the Holy Spirit was right there with me. And I had like laid down dreams, and the doctors come around who were taking care of people because I have a team of doctors. Mind you, I actually like work with these people, so because they're in
Oh, they're already in the medical field and they know who. So you get in the top.
I get the
They
top
want to make sure that you
treatment.
coming back
Yes,
off the
yes,
theater table.
yes.
Amen.
So all these doctors were like, they come to me and they said, you know what? I'm so glad to work with you and take care of you. There's something about you. I wish we had other patients just like you. I have a nurse who is a homosexual. And he came over to me and said, you know what? You're present. There's something about you. I can feel it. And when I went upstairs to do the surgery, that guy wanted to give me a shower and everything, and I said it's okay. And he said there's something about you, there's something. I have a nurse jump in the room, a white nurse, and she said, yes, I want this energy that you have.
Wow.
And I smiled every morning. The nurse would come in my room. And when I did the surgery, exactly what I told the doctor, exactly what there. And that's another part with my son. My son was playing football. He also had an injury. He was very good playing football. This I've just shared some testimony. And he was laying down after he did a surgery, knee surgery. And I said to Deshaun, I noticed him, there was something wrong. And he was like, when I said, Deshaun, you need to talk to me. Are you okay? He said, Mommy, I can't breathe. And I said, Deshaun, you have blood clot in your lungs. And he was like, I said, come on, let's go. When I rushed him to the ER, it wasn't a children's hospital, it was another hospital in the area. When I rushed him there and they do all this tests, the nurse looked at me and said, how do you know your son had a blood clot in his lungs? And I said, I could tell, the Holy Spirit showed it to me. And she was like, wow.
Wow.
In the hospital, the chaplain came in and the chaplain could identify me and said you were a Seventh-day Adventist without even knowing. There's so much testimony. And so those are the stuff that build my faith. Yes, there's so many stuff.
Wow.
I can tell you I've gone.
Me too.
And I've seen
and I
my
have a
God.
good piece of one.
Yeah, well, look at me
but
now. Hold on.
Yes,
No,
there's
this
so-
one I understand because Pauline, we know a little about her, and she has gone through a lot of different situations, and I wasn't gonna really mention about this, but now that you mentioned that I am in a problem right now where it has not been fixed yet, because when I had my stroke and I was I couldn't talk at all. But then I had to rush back to the hospital because my blood pressure wouldn't go up at all. I mean it just kept going up and up. And so anyway, we ended to the hospital, and then when we got there, Gerald and myself, I was there. I was groaning and pain, cause. So anyway, a lady came in, this white nurse, and she came. She started crying because she was trying to put on my what do you call this thing here? The blood. I couldn't get any
IV.
blood. Yeah, I couldn't. She used it.
You're trying to find your vein.
That's the word. She couldn't find my phone and stuff like that. And they were there trying. It was when we look, it was a room like this, and it was 7 of us. I'll never forget. It's 7 of us. And everybody was leaving. And the last person was there was Gerald and myself and the 2 nurses that are there. And they're saying, and I'm crying and because I can't talk. And Gerald said, well, what we're going to do? I said, there's nothing we can do. The white girl, she started crying and said that she can't find anything to help me with. So I said, you know what? I said, I can't do anything, and it's only God Himself. And me done. Me say God. So me trying to explain to Gerald. Say, I tell him say, if God, it's time for me to go, and I can't do this no more because it was too much, and everybody left, and it was me Gerald and myself, and a young black girl. She came on, and she said, I can't touch it because I am not supposed, my department, I'm not supposed to do in there. And while I was going, I couldn't put it down, I cut it down as the sweet as I can. And all of a sudden, this young girl came in. And she was trying to ask me what happened, you know. So Gerald now said to her that she has been trying, all the nurses have come to try to get the bit, and nobody can do it. And she said, well, so she said, well, I'm not in this part neither, but you know what? I think I could let you do it. I said, and somebody look around and Gerald said, you think you can really help? And said, so quickly she went into the computer. And up to this day, this is the thing that has been hurting me. That I said, can't this woman, where she came from, God couldn't. And people were saying that it was an angel, and saying yes, yes. But guess what? When we were there, she started to do the, you know, she was doing that, and she tell me to, and she tell me to turn around. So I turn around, and in my heart, me I said, God, me don't know where this girl out because there nothing can happen and so and so. And she said, and she tied it, and then she said, and she said to me, and then. That's what was going on. And then all of a sudden, she said, it's done. And I said, Jesus Christ, we made so much noise in there, you know, it was so embarrassing that, you know, and so on and stuff. But the problem is, everything happened that day, and so on and so forth. Then she looked around, she said, wait a minute, but you're supposed to be in a room because what's going on?
Right.
And then she said, okay, give me a few minutes. And we left there. And by the time I don't know where she went, and found one and sent me to a room immediately. And right away, I went in there and I managed for that and stuff. And the thing is, up to this day, we cannot find her. But
Yeah, that was an
people
angel.
saying that's an angel. But you know what?
Before I
Though?
go outside.
At the time, she said, Gerald said, I know her. And so Gerald said, you know my wife? And she said, that's Sister Lovelace. She sang at Calvary Church, and I was there that day. And I never heard her after then. I don't know where she is. And Gerald said, that's Sister Lovelace. And she said, yes, this that lady, that's what, and I want, and that, but I still would like to find her. She must
That's
have
an
been.
angel. That's an angel. I've experienced like that in the hospital.
No, man. We
Yes,
knew
that's
her.
an angel.
No, she was there, and she said,
That
Gerald
she
was
went
right
to
there.
Calvary.
She said that Sabbath she went to Calvary, and I sang, and she was talking about it. You know, and it's an angel too, because we still find whether it was in Calvary, over in Bridgeport, or up in Hartford. To this day, we don't know exactly whatever. You know, so when Pauline started telling about that, me know about whole heap, but that one is the only one that's bothering me. That up till now, I don't know where she is. I'm sorry, my brothers and sisters.
Don't be sorry.
I just want to
Don't be sorry.
sorry.
So we just want to thank you all so much, and we want to thank you, Sister Lovelace. Look, this is we are all walking testimonies, but Sister Lovelace, you heard what she said? She thought she was on her way out of here, and you can see that the Lord has continued to add onto her life, and now she's speaking.
Yes.
You're still singing. There's some events coming up in June, big events coming up in June. Y'all hear some more about that. You got the Pocono events coming up, so look out for the Lovelaces for that. And Sister Pauline, who is an amazing chef. And just thank you so much. Look, you know what's so powerful about these series and these podcasts is that you get to hear from women that are really powerful. And not powerful only in like academics and, in their regular 9-to-5s or work, but also in their spiritual lives. So I like to be around the mothers of Zion because they're always there to build you up and to share parts of their life that can also be parts of your life. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Love you guys. Love you guys. Awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for sharing.
Thank you, Mr. Lovelace.
All right. So.
Clever and no one knew my name. But nowadays we only talk about the weather and change.